Alright, here's where we're at on the old Dakota. Got the one wire alternator on it. Had to make the bracket. That's a piece off an old Dodge Dakota, like a 90 or an 89 model. One wire GM alternator. That looks like a lawnmower belt to you, that's because it is. They did not have, two auto parts stores didn't have that alternator belt, nor the power steering belt. We adapted the 1/2-inch oil cooler lines down to 3/8, and the 1/2-inch power steering return line down to 3/8, and it's hooked up. The pressure line is hooked up. That's it right there. Kind of funky looking. Some adapters. Had to reflare one end, but it's hooked up. Can't try it because I don't have a belt. Got the transmission cooler lines ran out here. Using this older Dakota radiator. Those trans lines will hook right to that. I got the fan shroud for it. Shouldn't be a problem. Right now I'm working on the throttle linkage and get that hooked up, and then we can do some wiring. There's a mess of wiring. Look at that. That's all wiring from the old motor. I don't know how much of it we can delete without messing with the truck. You know, all the gauges and heater and everything, a lot of stuff is tied to these computer ECMs now, so you gotta be careful what you go to hacking on. So we'll probably try to remove a little bit at a time, and if we cut something that messes up, we can put it back together. But it's coming. I do have a worry. The transmission that came out of it had about, I don't know how many pins, had a huge plug, probably that big square, probably 40 wires going to it. I don't know, and I'm pretty sure that's where your neutral safety switch is on this truck. So trying to get this thing to start on a key is going to be a hassle, to say the least. Actually, that's the transmission plug. That plugged into the side of the transmission. There's 25 wires there. So trying to find out which two of them, or which one of them grounds, or whatever, or how it works. Some of them just ground when they're in park and complete the circuit. Some of them have power coming in and it's an open switch till you put it in park, and normally they ground, but there's some of the import cars are different. But anyway, getting that figured out is going to be a mess. So we're just taking one thing at a time here. That's all you can do. It's this side of this engine is a busy place, so, and it looks worse than it is because you've got this mess of crap. Power steering lines are almost impossible to hide down in there the way they have to be ran. They come right out the top of the pump on this, and of course they come out the bottom on the other one, so you have to run them up through here and try to connect them. I can clean this harness here up immediately tomorrow, but it's just stepping through one hoop after another, and we'll get to it. If it doesn't rain tomorrow, I had some things that kept me from getting started till real late today, so if I can get out here before it gets 200 degrees and humid, maybe tomorrow I can get a little something done to it. But we're working on it, and the alternator went on real well. It's just like I said, a GM one wire, nothing fancy. It'll be easy to hook up, and might put another battery box over here. I've got one off another Dakota. I might try and bolt one in and put dual batteries in it. It's, you know, cold weather and a diesel, it pays to have plenty of battery power. But that's where we're at. I got this plate bolted on here. I have to drill another hole and bolt it here solid, and we're gonna build off of that. You know, run the cable up here. Here's the throttle cable, and it'll run up here to a bracket we got to manufacture, and run over here and get a hold of this back little ball stud. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's not that one. This one, son of a gun, right there. That's one we're gonna hook onto. So, and I'm worried about travel. In order to shut this engine off, that has to go clear over like that. Then as soon as you hit that, it'll start, and then you have regular throttle. Well, that's that's your normal travel right there. You know, I don't know, a couple 3 inches. Then when you add that extra inch or so to shut the motor off, if I build the bracket where we can go clear over to engine stop, I don't know if I'll have enough travel in my cable to have wide open throttle, which we absolutely have to have. So we'll be working on that. If we have to change the point on this, we will. Whatever we got to do, we'll figure it out. But just little things like that can cost you quite a bit of time. You know, I worked on this conglomeration of mess right here, this power steering pressure line, probably 2 hours today, trying to get everything to work. And honestly, the Mercedes-Benz will screw right into a 1/4 inch pipe plug or pipe thread. And that's a brass, that's a male inverted, or male flare in there. And it snugs right down against the brass pipe and it feels tight. I don't think that's gonna leak. This, I had to put a flare on it, cut the nut off. Has 16mm long O-ring inverted flare, bubble flare. So I had to cut it off and flare it. Then run it into a brass adapter that took to a 1/4 inch pipe and then 90 it so we can get this and where it belongs. When we get the battery cables and the harness out of the way, we can shove this big loop down in there and maybe get rid of part of it. But anyway, it's hooked up so we can test it, take a look at it tomorrow. But you know, this is everything's a test. You just, you know, you can't, you can't just go to the store and buy parts to put this together. You have to make a lot of it. So that's where we're at, and I'll update you tomorrow if I get anything done, if I get to work on it. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, and got any suggestions, or you know, somebody got a trick to fix some of this stuff, I'm willing to listen. Thanks for watching.